Nothing start again. I'm sick to my stomach. Nothing.
Soccer? But it's really called football. Soccer? The creators called it football. Soccer? You know, you play it with your feet. Reading between the headlines. Soccer? But it's really called football. Soccer? Hello, football fans, and welcome back to Reading Between the Headlines. I'm Asaf Niasim, your host for Peruse the News, the live show where we catch up on the latest Chelsea news together, maybe some Premier League news as well, maybe some world football news as well, and of course, as always, we live football and prosper as one should. Now, I see you, BX Gunner. I see you there, bro. We'll talk about it. I'm just going to go for the docket here today. We got a docket. I have a docket, and this docket is what we're going to be up to today. First, Chelsea did have a great day at the office against League Two leaders Barrow. I'm going to start off the show by putting my 2 cents in, of course. Then we will check out what Enzo Maresca and Christopher Nkunku had to say post-match. Next, at the Chelsea Chronicle, Chelsea are in talks with Qatar and Saudi Arabia amid the Boli Eghbali power struggle. Lastly, from the Daily Mail, the ever-opinionated Simon Jordan says, "We must stop selling our sporting soul to the Saudis." A lot of alliteration there, eh? A lot of S's. I don't like the sense that everything in this country is there solely to be bought. I'm sure a lot of people share that opinion. We're going to read his article that he wrote for the Daily Mail. As a bonus, per usual, if we have any time at all, and we do like to keep it nice, short, and sweet at reading between the headlines, we will stalk some of our favorite Chelsea player Instagrams, alumni and current, before we close up shop. Yes, BX Gunner is right on it. Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea all dropped 5 goals today. It was a good day at the office for a few of them. A few of us, big leaguers. But before we continue, if you are new to the channel, why not? Here we go. Let me hit my graphic. Like the stream. Subscribe to the channel. Perhaps might I interest you in hitting the bell notification icon. You know, I'm not exactly the biggest bell kind of guy, but we do go live at this channel, on this channel, at this show, and by we I mean me. I do, and my fellow community members. So if you do want to know when we go live, hitting the bell is helpful, but subscribing to the channel is most important. It makes me feel like I'm doing the right thing, like things are happening, and I can keep putting more time into this project, if you will. But I'm loving it. And while this channel is tiny, so small, so tiny, it has big potential, and we do see it growing all the time, and I'm psyched about that because every stream pretty much the subscriber numbers go up. Yes, I see you, BX. It is a Bolton beanie, appropriate for getting slammed by Arsenal today, as he had mentioned. BX Gunner mentioned it was a 5-1 finishing. Yeah, I got this beanie from a dude who is not a big soccer fan, actually, but is from the Bolton area. So he had this, and he was like, hey, why don't you have this? And I was like, hell yeah, I'll take that, like, obscure beanie that makes me look cool because it makes, you know, people don't usually support Bolton. But you know, Bolton were in the Premier League way back when, and I did appreciate that we did get Gary Cahill from Bolton. I don't know if anybody remembers that. I can't remember if we picked up any other players from Bolton, but we did get Gary Cahill, one of Chelsea legends. Yeah, exactly. And cheers to you too, BX, because another point, both Kai Havertz and Raheem Sterling in the books today. In fact, Raheem had an assist as well, if I'm not mistaken. So Congrats to Chelsea alumni. I'm not usually in the business of hyping up ex-Chelsea players that go across to the rivals at Arsenal, but you know, I am an American. This isn't English. It isn't an English channel, and here in America, well, we mostly just appreciate when somebody else is into the sport. You know what I'm saying? It's not like as big a rival. We're just like, oh crap, you like football too? You like the Premier League? Let's be friends. I don't care if you're like a huge Arsenal fan, right? BX Gunner knows that. So BX Gunner goes, JJ and Anelka balled out. That's a good point. Yes, that's true. Good for you. Giving me the backup I needed right now to be hyping up Bolton. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I wear it with pride. And I feel really cool that I have it. Yeah. So that said, let's start off this stream with last stream's poll results after, you know, what was an encouraging performance, Chelsea performance against West Ham United. The media have done a complete 180 on Nicholas Jackson's potential, right? It's like all of a sudden he's like the next big thing. So what did I throw at you? I asked you, how good can Nicholas Jackson be? Okay, and this was right after he had popped off at West Ham. So naturally, you've got talented, but his ceiling is elite, was 66%, the majority of votes. The next one, BX Gunner says, Campos, another Bolton great. True. Hey, man, doing my job for me. Thank you. I should probably just chat GPT. Hey, what are all the great Bolton players of all time that went on to do great things at bigger clubs? Maybe I will do that. You know what? Well, let's finish this. Let's finish this poll up. The sky's the limit. World class. 33% of you thought that Nicholas Jackson could literally be world class if he isn't already. Now that is some change. I feel like, and 0% of you said way overrated, average at best. That bodes well for Nicholas Jackson himself. But it is interesting that I feel like a few weeks ago, that poll would have come out completely differently. So it's a good thing that he had a great performance over at the London Stadium, because otherwise he might have been getting the polling love over at Reading Between the Headlines. But why not? Let's just, you know what, before we even head over to my 2 cents, why don't we ask what Bolton alumni went to play at bigger clubs and perhaps win trophies. Curious now. I just want to totally validate my Bolton hat wearing. BX Gunner says, I'm looking at Jackson v. Duran right now as a legit who's better argument, both of similar age and styles. Two good young strikers. True. And two, well, obviously Jackson is connected to Chelsea, but yeah, there's been talk about Duran, especially recently, especially since Victor Osimhen didn't work out, although it might work out. We did have a poll recently about Victor Osimhen coming to the club maybe in January. John Obi Mikel seems to keep talking about it, but let's check out what ChatGPT will have said. Gary Cahill, number 1. Boom. Yep. Nicholas Anelka, as you said, Gunner. JJ Okocha, another one you mentioned. Daniel Sturridge. Forgot about that one, right? There you go. Campo. I don't even know Yuri Djorkaeff. Is that like showing? Ooh, Jaskalainen. Okay. That's true. You know, maybe I'm exposing myself, but I don't really know who Yuri Djorkaeff is. Djorkaeff? He won the UEFA Cup 97-98, Inter Milan, and playing a key role in 90 France's. Oh, oops. Okay, well, we'll just say that I knew him, and I'm not a total nub. But yeah, okay, so we're validating here. Got a whole segment based on the hat that I'm wearing. Maybe I'll get some more obscure team hats just to start conversations. But yeah, I think that validates, that properly validates. But you know what we forgot to do, we just looked at that poll, but I've got another poll for you guys, and this is, I'm curious what y'all think about this, because these are probably the 3 most established managers most recently at Chelsea. BX Gunner says, lol, it's all about learning the history. Yeah, right. And that's fun too. You know, I love to go off on like in a rabbit hole and just find things. Like I'll even go far back, you know, just YouTube rabbit hole. Seriously, there's a lot of rich lore to learn, Gunner says. And it's true. Like if you go, one thing I like to do is the stadium tours. I've had the privilege of being able to do Camp Nou, Real Madrid, the Santiago Bernabeu, the Chelsea tour. There's so much history. If you're a history buff, like sports in general has a ton of history, and like you could just like have like Western civilization timeline, at least from like the 1800s even, and just see all this football stuff, soccer stuff, whatever you want to call it. BX Gunner says, I've been following footy for 20 years and I'm still am learning every day. You and me both, my friend, and I love that you're humble about it and you let me off the hook not remembering a player's name, because yeah, it happens, and there are those that are like, yeah, I know that guy. Yeah, I'm cool. I'm in the cool club, right? But at the same time, it's okay. You don't need to know everything. You don't need, and guess what? When somebody comes along that's a douchebag in that way, that's like, oh, you don't even know Yuri Djorkaeff? Don't you remember him? What are you, freaking newbie? You could just be like, dude, shut the fuck up. Excuse my language, but shut the F up. All right? Like, we're all football fans here, all right? Leave it. Get over yourself, bro. That's a thing. Gatekeepers. Okay, there you go. You're putting in it. You're doing all my work for me today, Gunner. Because it's so true. Gatekeepers, that's a good term to use. They suck. And you're not cool. You know what? Early on in this show, before I did a live show, I used to do like a comedy show. And I want to get back to it. I honestly do. But I just need to like get more subscribers and get some watch time, maybe monetize, and then I can like convince my wife that I could put endless hours every week to just like editing and making this comedy show that I used to make. But I'd like put out a bunch of shows, and I had, you know, I'm obviously American and obviously playing up the American tradition, or at least that I'm starting an American tradition in this, and it really has been in the last few years more established. But I'd have some real gatekeeping haters in the comments. Not a ton of them, to be fair. Most people were pretty good, but I had like a couple guys. I used to have a bunch of like match day scarves on set, and so do I even have a couple here? Nah, I don't have them, but you know, like I have a bunch of match day scarves, and I had like a United/Chelsea one, and some guy in the comments, you could probably, I left it there. It's not like I deleted it or anything, but he'd be like, Nobody puts those up. Nobody like hangs those up. You're such a you don't even know, you don't know how to be a football fan or whatever the hell he's doing. I'm like, dude, you know what? I'm American. I don't live in London. I'm a Chelsea fan. Like every single game I go to in England is a special occasion to me. So I want to get those match day scarves off the little vendors outside the stadium, and I'm going to keep them forever because it's just a memory. Like I'm going to remember that. I'm starting my own tradition, you know. You can F off. But yeah, so that's a thing. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. The match day scarves, Gunner. That's what I'm calling them. Maybe that's not what you call them, but those are my half and half scarves. Exactly, dude. See, you know. So they gave you shit too. It's bullshit. Like I say, like every single match I go to, I try to get those half and half scarves. I mean, I don't care if it has United on it. I just want to like remember the occasion. It's great. I love it. So I'm not going to stop doing it. And guess what? You guys have a tradition. We have it. Exactly. A scarf and a program, dude. I'm not so original. I guess I'm not the most original there is. But that is what I do as well. And like, it's cool that you do it too. Have you been, you know what? I haven't been to Arsenal. I haven't been to the Emirates Stadium. I've been to a bunch, in fact. I even went all the way up to the Stadium of Light. I don't know if you know Sunderland Stadium, but that was a really fun trip, actually. Gunner, the tribalism gets over the top from the natives at times. Yeah, it does. Well, you know what? They're really stuck up about it. Not to like turn any of them off if they're coming on the show. You know, you're welcome, bro. Stay humble and shit. But they do get tribal about it, right? And it's like, no, we have our own traditions, and I'm glad you guys created the sport. I give you that. I give you guys all of that. That credit goes to your people. You guys created the sport. You created the freaking language that I'm speaking. But we evolve. We have our traditions. You have yours. And you guys should feel like, you know, the good ones, to be fair, are like, wow, I didn't know an American could be so into football. Like, it's really cool that you have your traditions, that you have these things, that you really glorify coming to every match that you go to. Because for me, it's like walking out of the house and I go down the road and I'm at Stamford Bridge. And you, it's just like a big deal to you. Gunner says, we pay for transfers these days. Oh, what does that mean? We pay for transfers these days. Oh, right. Like, that's a new thing. Like, yeah, you might not have paid too much for transfers back in the day. These days, the price tag is high. And guess what? Chelsea is part American owned now. So we do have a claim, even though they might not be happy about that. So that might not be anything. And I'm not sure I'm happy about that. It's not like the Bowley era has been all that great, but I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic, especially lately with well, I'm not going to say that the performance have been all great, and we'll talk about that here. But I'm definitely optimistic about as Americans, we bring in top dollar facts. Although, as Simon Jordan says, there's some other places that bring in top dollar, and maybe people aren't too happy about that. I don't know if that's our selling point, Gunner, but I don't know if that's our selling point. But we're establishing a rapport here. We're getting our ducks in a row as to how we want to appeal to our English counterparts. But okay, let me throw this poll out there. And the poll is pretty simple. I'm curious, out of these three managers, who do people think is the best manager? I've seen polls like this recently, and people have some different opinions that are intriguing. So the first one, our most recent, Enzo Maresca. Then we have Mauricio Pochettino. And then we have another fan favorite. Won everything there. Well, not everything, but definitely the big one. Won the big one with us, Thomas Tuchel. And I'm wondering, out of these three managers, who do people think is the best manager? This is a tough one. It's a tough one, honestly. Especially, I think Chelsea fans are really starting to get turned on to Enzo these days. I suspect maybe Enzo will come out on top. Ooh, we got a Thomas Tuchel. Tommy Tushy. I call him Tommy Tushy. Tommy Tushy. You think so, information? I mean, he didn't win the Premier League. But, I mean, what a class. The thing is, information, Supreme, is that I feel like people are going to be hating on Tommy Tushy because of what happened at Bayern Munich. That brought his prestige a little down, right? And people are always going to be hating because I think they even lost the French league one year, and with all those superstar players, and they didn't manage to win the Champions League, but he came to Chelsea and he won the Champions League with maybe a team that shouldn't have won the Champions League. But isn't that like the Chelsea tradition? Win when we totally shouldn't be winning. That's kind of a great theme in Chelsea history. Win when we totally have no business winning. And it looks insane. You know, which reminds me, I was watching Manchester City. Gunner, you might. Information says, I don't care what he did in Germany. He won us a European treble. 100% correct. I'm not taking that away from you. I love Tommy Tushy. I was very upset to see him go. Flat out. I was definitely one of the people that had my head in my hands. Like, what are we doing here? Gunner says, I think whatever happened behind the scenes with Tuchel getting divorced, playing a big part in his Chelsea downfall. Yeah. Apparently there were a couple reports like a couple different administrators were just having, because there's been factions in the Chelsea administration since the Bowley era, right? There's factions. And it seems that like both Egbali and Bowley just did not like dealing with him. So I don't know what that is. I love Tommy Tushy. I'll always be a Tuchel fan. And what was I going to say? Oh, so what I was saying is that recently I was watching that Manchester City Arsenal fan, and I thought about you, dude. In fact, I bet. So it was 1-1, and I went to bet on Arsenal. I was like, okay, I'm going to bet on Arsenal now. And I was thinking about you, bro. I was like, I'm going to tell Gunner that I'm betting on Arsenal with him in mind. And then just as I go into FanDuel to hit the bet, to get the bet in there, because the odds were great, Arsenal scores, and it was 2-1. And I was like, crap, now I can't bet. These odds are not as good at all. And then Arsenal got a red card, and I was like, you know what? 2-1 up. Arsenal have been really good defensively lately, like uncharacteristically good defensively this season. I'm just going to go with Arsenal. Whatever. The odds are good now. I'm going to bet on Arsenal. This is going to be legendary. Unfortunately, I watched that whole game, and I was like, so hype. That was... there's a lot of crap being talked about the way Arsenal played the rest of the game. I'm like, what are you talking about? That was a majestic performance. That defensive display was awesome, okay? I watched that. Maybe it's just like the Chelsea fan in me, like from 2012. Like we have those games sometimes against big competition. And, I just loved every minute of Arsenal balls to the wall defending against City, one man down. And it was awesome. So, but anyway, in the end, I was really let down, and my pocket was slightly let down. But what a great match until that last gasp equalizer. And I felt for you, man. And I was like, ah, crap. Well, at least I'll go mention this to him when we get into the next stream. But okay, so today, not today, but yesterday, we had we beat Barrow 5-0. Obviously, everybody knows that. Finally, it was a cup game that we were able to kind of easily watch, especially if you're stateside. Watch Paramount Plus, no problem. And what I liked about this performance was it was probably the very first Chelsea actually dominant performance of the season, right? We've had results that have seemed dominant here and there. We had, of course, the West Ham game was good, 3-0. People were spouting off about that, especially because Nicholas Jackson had a great game. And before that, we had the 6-2 drubbing of Wolverhampton. People were hyped up about that as well. But when I looked at them, I wasn't too happy about the performances. I was happy with the results. I thought the performances were okay, good connections between certain players. But I didn't necessarily think the performances were good. This was a dominant performance. And, of course, it's expected, even against the league leaders, the League Two leaders in Barrow. It's sort of expected, but the way Chelsea's B team had been performing in cup ties against much lesser competition, they still had to go out there and get it done. 11v11, 11 men versus 11 men, and they did it, and it wasn't even close. And everything about the match, really, including the stats, reflected that sheer dominant performance, which has not been the case in previous matches. You really couldn't say the same thing for West Ham or for or Wolves. And if you just take a look at these stats, you see in like every facet of the game, 71% to 29% possession, expected goals algorithm, 2.97, total shots, 20 total shots. Like, it was sheer dominance. 10 shots on target to 1. Big chances, 8 big chances. 554 accurate passes to 170 with Barrow. Again, the quality was much lower, but we haven't seen the greatest performances out of the B team. So, it is a change. It is a departure from what we've been seeing. And as I said before, the fact that our B team was performing so crappily was a reflection of the depth in the team. You have to say, it's a reflection of the depth in the team. If your B team can't go out there and beat Servette, 7th place in the Swiss league, then you can't beat them convincingly across 2 legs, or beat them at all in the second leg. There's a problem for your club in depth, especially for a club the size of Chelsea. Total shots, again, 20 shots to 5 shots. Shots on target, 10 to 1. The passes, way destroyed them in accurate passes, accurate crosses as well. The duels, maybe not so much. It was tight, 48 to 45, and we know that Maresca has been talking about fighting for every duel. And I think that one of the things, and we'll get to this, we're going to get to the Maresca post-match press conference, which was good. I'm not saying he shat on them or anything, but there were some reports that Enzo was not happy with the pressing and probably less happy about what he's been complaining about, which is going out there and fighting for every single duel, especially against a team that is outclassed. But look at that. Aerial duels won 18 to 9. That's big. So, yeah, I think it's important to note that this was a departure from recent matches. Those are my notes, and we're going to go. Yeah. Okay. Got some notes for the show. It happens, and got to keep it together. All right. So, right. As I was saying, even the stats convey a different story than recently has been for Chelsea. And Nkunku got that hat trick. First, goal was a beautiful assist from Joao Pedro, who scooped the ball in behind the defense to open the scoring. Second goal, like the sweetest little like Gianfranco Zola style back flick off a returning Malo Gusto. So Malo Gusto coming back into the side and immediately getting the assist, which is great to see. You always wonder when people come back from injury, and Maresca is such a stud. He manages Malo Gusto's minutes. He had already planned, and we'll see that in the presser, but he had already planned before the match that Gusto was coming off at halftime and Chilwell was coming in, which was fantastic. Third goal, and well, we'll talk about Chilwell in a second, but the third goal Nkunku scored was the fifth goal of the match. He worked it all by himself, forcing an error out of the Barrow goalkeeper to seal the win, 5-0. Pretty humiliating for the Barrow goalkeeper, but it was really just adding insult to injury. The game was over, and he just, effed up trying to dribble Nkunku. It happens, it happens. Nkunku did it, got that hat trick. What a guy. Joao got that assist, but almost got himself another Chelsea goal on the free kick. In fact, I thought I until today didn't even realize he didn't get credit for that goal. I thought Joao scored on that free kick, but it wasn't the case. Actually, he hit the post, and while it was the inside of the post, it came out across the goal line, hit the goalkeeper, and went in. So it was an own goal off the goalkeeper. So the goalkeeper not only had an own goal, but he also... You can't blame the keeper for that own goal anyway. It's just dumb luck. So whatever. Maybe that's not as humiliating as giving up the goal to Nkunku, but Nkunku took advantage, and that is that. Happy to see Mudryk finally get an assist, and also Neto getting a goal. So, and Mudryk assisted Neto to get that goal, and that's important. Neto's first goal, Mudryk's first contribution period this season. Another thing that's nice to note is that Ben Chilwell did come on. It was planned. And I know Chelsea fans are super psyched to see Chile back in the side. And not only did he come in and get his first minutes for Chelsea under Enzo Maresca in the actual season, non-preseason minutes, he got the armband off Disasi. Okay, maybe that's just Enzo just being a G and just knowing, bro, I got to give Chilwell, like Chilwell's back in the side. He was ousted. If he's back in the side, he's back in the side. And I want to give him this boost his confidence, boost to his feeling, a sense of belonging in the Chelsea. Enzo is such a genius. There were so many genius moves by Enzo Maresca in this match that, he had the freedom to kind of do these things because Chelsea were so dominant. And that's another great thing about being dominant in a match. It's that you have all these options to do things, right? Bring in players that aren't getting the minutes because the match is killed off, and the pressure on those players is going to be less, so those players can possibly play with a little bit more flow, although you could maybe say that Tyreek George didn't get that kind of flow that we were hoping. He did have a glaring miss, easy goal for Tyreek George. But the beauty of those situations is that you can make those mistakes as a player who's coming in fresh, not too many minutes. You can play with a little bit more freedom, and Chilwell got that. He came in with the captain's armband. It was beautiful. And even my boy, this was a real moment seeing it on Instagram. I'm a big fan of Chalobah as well, and Chalobah had to repost it. His boy, even though Chalobah's not in the side, and I think I'm not the only Chelsea fan that feels this way, Chalobah could have done great for Chelsea. Maybe he will come back at some point and get in the side, but Chilwell did get his chance to come back into the side, and he got that armband. That's why I featured him on the thumbnail. I don't know if y'all noticed, but the thumbnail for the stream got that armband. It was a moment. And young Chalobah, young Trevo, made it known on his Instagram, which is beautiful to see. Heartwarming for a Chelsea fan, really. So that's that. That's pretty much the way I viewed it. I didn't view the game. I did find it to be completely dominant, but it wasn't perfect. And this is another thing I love about Maresca. In the wake of that, in the wake of what transpired, he's also keeping his cool and saying, hey guys, relax, okay? This was a dominant performance, great performance by the boys, but it wasn't perfect, okay? There were mistakes. And he's that guy, and he's just doing this is just like such a genius Maresca moment, right? Okay, so yeah, so let's go ahead. As I said, we are going to check out the post-match, and this is the immediate flash post-match that we're going to check out first. Just remind you guys, if you're here, if you're new to the channel, if you are not new to the channel, but you're a stalker, why not like the stream, subscribe to the channel. Much more importantly, if you feel like hitting the bell, hit the bell to know when I go live. I go live a lot. Actually, these days, probably at least twice a week. But yeah, most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Let me know that you're here. I want to see you OGs in the future. I want to know who you are. Get into the chat and engage, so that way I'll never forget your name going forward. When this channel's huge, you're gonna want to be like, hey, I knew this channel. I knew this channel way before it was huge. I'm an OG, and I respect that because I love being that guy too. I love being that guy that knew the band before everybody else knows the band, except for then you have to be like, I knew the band before everybody else knew the band, and nobody believes you. They're just like, yeah, okay, sure you knew the Red Hot Chili Peppers before there were the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Sure you knew them before everybody else, and then it just kills you. But at the same time, you know yourself. And guess what? I'll know, because if you are subscribed, hit me up in the chat like BX Gunner. It's a wrap, dude. We're friends forever. And this is cool. And again, that's why I've said this before. This is why I always make sure to set the latency to ultra low, sacrifice some quality on the video quality, because that way I get your messages faster. I can react to them in real time. And that's what this channel is about, because I love that. And maybe I'm a loser and don't have enough friends. And I just, at least I don't have enough Premier League watching friends. I want to get in with all the Premier League passionate fans online. That way we can, shoot it back and forth like BX Gunner. He's not even a Chelsea fan and he's here. And I respect that greatly. So thank you guys if you choose to do that. Let's get to the post-match flash interviews with Maresca and Nkunku. Yes.
To continue in the same way we are already playing last games, to continue with the momentum, winning game, but especially was important to send a message that we are a serious team. We don't underestimate any team, and this was the important thing.
And so clinical, especially in that first half. 3 shots on goal, 3 goals.
Yeah, we had some more chances, but Joao, Cristo, all of them.
Yeah, in the end, it was 10 shots on goal.
Just how
total.
pleased were you with those
But 3 shots in the first half, 3 goals.
Especially because you made so many changes this evening.
Yeah, I think we start to see the way we want to play, and this is important. This is the reason why I said the important thing in this moment is to see the team progressing, and I think we are doing that.
Scoring goals for fun, a hat-trick for Nkunku. You must have been delighted with his performance tonight.
Cristo, yeah, very, very happy for him. He completely deserves. As I said, there are many players that they are not playing from the start in Premier League, but they will deserve. But we have many players. We have to take some decision. But the important thing is that they are ready when they get minutes.
How important is that, though, like you said, because you make changes and players are keeping the level so high to push each other through in, week out?
This is the main key. This is the main key. It doesn't matter who is going to play. The idea is always to be the same. Try to control the game, manage the game, create chances, defend good, attack good.
For the first time, we controlled the game. For the first time, we dominated possession and controlled the game, controlled the midfield.
Both of them. I think they did very well. Tariq had the chance also. The other one he missed. I really
it was a bad miss by
Josh
Tyreek George,
in terms
but
of personality, brave.
he's a young guy. He coming in. He looked sharp. He's looked sharp every minute he's played so far for us.
You mentioned it felt like a statement performance today. How important is that looking ahead to the weekend and Brighton here at the Bridge?
Very important, very important. We need our fans.
Yeah, I'm scared of Brighton. I'm honestly scared of Brighton. And I'm going to get into that in the next stream because I'm going to do a pre-match on Friday night.
Step forward, so we need the people behind us, the fans behind
Brighton's
us.
dangerous. Brighton is dangerous.
Patient and stay with us until the end.
So, Christo, first of all, your first Chelsea
Cristo.
hat-trick, what did it mean to you?
I feel very happy, but the most important thing was the win today. We wanted to be serious and to
Babyface Cristo.
a serious game. That's what we did, so we are all happy.
It was a really good start, very clinical as well, wasn't it, in that first half, the first 3 goals coming from the first 3 shots?
Yeah, we start the game well. We wanted to get the game quickly, and that's what we did. So, yeah, after the game is more easy, but we did a good first half.
A great hat-trick from you, 3 very different goals. We were just talking about the flick was very reminiscent of a certain Gianfranco Zola that scored here. I mean, it was a special finish for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, I spoke with Malo before the game to cross in the first post. The ball was a little bit behind me, but I tried to finish in one touch. This is, I think, the move I could do best, so I did.
What does it say about the strength
I
of
feel like
this
even John
squad
Terry scored
this
one of
season,
these
that the
goals one
manager can
time.
make
Maybe
so
I'm
many
wrong about
changes
that,
and you
but
can perform at such a high level?
definitely Zola
Yeah, we have a good squad
scored one of those.
with a lot of talent. I think we need to be focused. This is also what we need to be focused to work hard, because this is not only talent. The season is also long with a lot of game, so everybody needs to be focused.
And you're scoring a lot of goals. We've seen Nico scoring a lot of goals, yourself scoring 3 today. That competition keeps getting better and better.
I think we are all in competition, but the most important thing is to be united and to go in the same way. That's what we try to do. So this is how the team will work this season.
It's a young group. It's a very close group. You do seem like you've bonded really well, this group of players.
Yeah, we are young. We have a new coach this season. We're still learning his way to play, and this is a process. But we need to be focused. Now, all our eyes on the Saturday's game, important game against Brighton at home.
Scary
And we
game.
just
Scary game.
have 2 days to prepare this game to win, because this is the main goal.
It's a really important point to score 5 goals, to keep a clean sheet, to get the fans behind you. It's so important going into a big game like that, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Last year wasn't the same. We didn't start the season like this, so now we just want to enjoy it, to continue like this, and to make our fan happy.
And finally, let's have a look at the hat-trick ball and tell us about it. Where's that going to go at home?
In my the place where I put all my trophies.
All my trophies.
Enzo, first of all, congrats.
So, yeah. Good, feel good moment. A lot of people, including myself, thought that the match against West Ham, before the match even, thought that is going to be the stiff test. And if we get past that West Ham match, that's going to be the match to decide if we've had a positive start this season. And it turned out for me, even though the result was there, glad for Nico to get those goals, and he looked like man of the match, and he was man of the match. He looked confident, and it's good for his confidence, and it's good for any club to have a confident striker, right? But it wasn't the stiff test. West Ham were god-awful. And I'm not saying that BARROW were the stiff test, but even though West Ham were god-awful, for at least the first half, and they improved as the game went on, but even though they were awful, it wasn't like Chelsea were completely dominant. And again, this is a different competition, different level, obviously, league leaders, but of League 2 in BARROW. But it still was a dominant performance, and we haven't seen that all season. Doesn't matter against what competition. We haven't seen that against, again, Swiss Super League 7th place team, Servette. We didn't see that in either leg, even though we won the first leg and lost the second leg and won over 2 legs, obviously. But we hadn't seen the dominant performance, which is what I want to see out of this Chelsea side. For God's sake, we haven't seen much of that. If you're a City fan, you get to see that week in, week out. If you're an Arsenal fan, maybe you don't see that every game, but you see that in a lot of games, especially, lately. You really just get to see an Arsenal that is dominant when they win, often. And so I think that is the mark of a great team, when you actually have those performances. And it wasn't until now that we saw this performance from Chelsea, albeit against League Two league leaders Barrow. I have to keep saying that it's a caveat. Of course, it's a caveat, but it changes things for me, because I got to see Chelsea actually do that, and we haven't, even against inferior teams. Sorry to say. Okay, so let's move on. I think probably, I want to take a look. Maybe I'll cut it off in the middle, but because we just did see Enzo Maresca, but I want to take a look at the full post-match press conference, not the flash conference, and I'm gonna put it at 1.25 times the speed. Yeah. Just checking something here. Right. Yeah. Okay. I'll put that on. Let me put it on 1.25. And maybe I'll stop it. Maybe I'll feel like it's too much of the same and want to move on already. But let's just throw that on there and sit through it a little bit. See if there's anything to talk about there. Come on.
Okay, good evening. If you'd like to ask a question, please raise your hand and we'll look to get around as many as possible. Rizal, do you want to get us started?
Hi, Enzo. That seemed pretty much a perfect night from what you would want from this game, bringing players back, scoring a lot of goals, and then you can clean sheet for that.
Yeah, very happy with the performance, with the results. As you said, we did many changes, but the idea from the team was exactly the same. And this has to be one of our target, no matter who is going to play. Important that the identity of the team is always there. And then this kind of game, I'm always worried a lot, because they are tricky game, and football is full of this game where you underestimate the other team, and you concede goals, you concede chances. But tonight, I think the performance was very good, and we show how serious we are.
With the Carabao Cup,
Again, which is why, even though it's a low league team, it's still 11 men versus 11 men. And the B team needs to go out there, and they need to perform, and they need to shut it down. And guess what? They did it in a way that hasn't been done this season by both the A team or the B team, period.
and also the Conference League, you could essentially make 11 changes in every match, couldn't you? Make 11 changes today, and could you see that maybe more going forward with the Premier League and then these other competitions?
Depends a little bit also the moment of the season. Sometimes you can have injury, you can have different kind of problems. In this moment that we are all available, unless Romeo, and Reece. So if we have a chance, we try to share minutes.
Cannot wait for Romeo to get back. Romeo. Seriously, I mean, Lavia excited me so much in that Manchester City match, the first match of the season.
Happy for Cristo and for Joao, for all of them, because I said already many times, they all deserve to play from the start in Premier League, but they are not playing in this moment. But the way they take the chances when we give them.
And Joao should have gotten credit for that second goal, even though it was an own goal in the end.
They all are ready, and this is the most
unfortunate for him.
Good spot.
Did get the assist though, beautiful assist. I'll mention that again for anybody that wasn't here earlier.
I was happy with him and with Josh. I think both they did very well in this kind of games. For them, it's important to be brave, don't be shy, no matter if you mistake. It's football, and both they did very good. As you said, Tariq missed a chance, then he created another one for himself, and then I really like Josh, the way he showed himself with the ball, step in, brave, personality. Yeah, happy for both of them.
And how do you think that Gillo did?
So genius
Also,
from Maresca,
very
really.
good. It was not easy for Chile because he didn't get any minutes this season. He showed that he's there, he's ready, he's working well. And as I said, there is not any problem. If we have a chance, we can give him some more minutes and games.
That change with him and Gusto at half time, was that planned before?
Yeah, it was planned. Simply, first half, we were with Malo going inside, in that side. And second half, we just did the same, but in the left side with Chile inside. But was planned already, the change was planned.
It looked
Is
like
the team for Brighton now
setting up off the ball, they looked like it was three at the back, honestly. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but it looked like there were three at the back and Chilwell was playing like a wing-back position. But then there was Mudryk in front of him. I don't know. It was a little clumped up.
to pick, particularly up front? You've got
But I guess that's good when you want to be compact off the ball, right? So when you have the ball, spread out. When off the ball, when you're defending, compact. I don't know.
They scored a hat-trick tonight, another one scored 2 at the weekend.
Yeah, but this is the most important thing for me, that they make my choice difficult. That means that they are all doing well, and this is a key point and key things that we need to continue on that.
Okay, go to the middle.
Hi, it's a great game today. 2 goals for first time 15 minutes, and the first goal for BARROW for Chelsea. There were so many achievements today, but what was your favourite highlight of the game?
Before the game, I asked the players that
I like this.
even if we are the youngest squad in the Premier League, I asked them to show how serious we are. And for me, the most important thing tonight for sure was winning the game, but also to send the message that yes, we are young, but we are men, we are serious, and we want to compete.
So last couple, we'll go Rahman and then Jerry.
Hi, Enzo. I mean, I've seen almost every game this season. Sometimes your fullbacks come into midfield, sometimes they go to play out at 10. Sometimes you don't even have a fullback and you still have tactical tweaks. How much work goes into that? Because almost every game they said, so I think against Palace, Caicedo would go into central defense at some point in time. It comes back again and comes back into
Yeah.
How much work goes into that?
I don't understand how much.
Much work.
Work. I don't know.
Goes into that on the training page, and should we expect more of those tactical tweaks?
Look, yeah, we try to prepare. I said since I joined the club that we prepare the game, depends how the other team is defending or attacking. So we try to find solution. And as you said, Palace was one plan. Today was another plan. Today, first half Malo and second half Chilwell, they were playing like attack midfielder on the ball. It's just to create in some area of the pitch, in some part of the pitch, overload of players, and to have more. The guy that has the ball, he has more option to pass. He has not just one, and then he can decide which one can pick the one of the option that he has. But the idea or the target is to give them more solution, and then they decide.
Okay, and we'll finish Jerry.
Enzo, it was.
I would love to be a fly on the wall in one of those training sessions, man. I mean, they get to, even for Barrow, it seems, they're just like analyzing how they're attacking and seeing where they get a chance to overload a position or an area on the pitch. Just, yeah, this guy's a G.
Well documented, Chelsea had problems scoring goals last year and before that. Now you've got Nicholas scoring for fun, and Christoph, when he comes in, he's scoring as well. Could that be?
These freaking journalists, man. Like, I'm not saying Nicholas isn't scoring a lot. He's scoring a lot, but like, what do you mean for fun, man? What do you mean for fun? He had one game where he was very confident and scoring. Like, whatever. I guess that's just journalism. You have to respond to the moment and do it in a hyperbolic manner, no matter what, right? I guess. I mean, yeah, that's just how it is. But scoring for fun, come on.
Be the big difference for
Stay
Chelsea's
humble.
success this season?
It's difficult to judge last year because I was not here. The only thing I can judge is that both they are doing fantastic, not because they only score, but the way they work off the ball, the way they sacrifice for the team. So this is very important for both of them, and it's a nice problem when you have two strikers that they continue to score. Unfortunately, Mark Guyo is not scoring in this moment, but hopefully soon he can
Mark
score.
Guyo.
But, it's
Come
nice
on,
that
buddy.
we can decide which one, and then
Pulling for
because
you,
they are
bro.
in a good moment, we can use them.
I don't know. You tried.
I don't know how he's gonna get any
both
minutes these
together,
days,
But can you see that at some stage
honestly.
where they will play alongside each other?
Could be. The problem is the balance of
Maybe he'll
defensive
still
balance.
start
because,
the Conference League.
We can think to play with Nicolas, Cristo, Joao,
did
Cole
start.
Palmer, Noni. Fantastic.
I think against Servette,
But
both
then who is
legs.
defending? Me and you. We go. We need to run back. The problem is, I would like to put all of them because I really like football and I really like to keep the ball. The problem is that when you lose the ball, then you have to defend, and not all of them they can defend at the same level.
Okay, we'll end it there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Yeah, I don't remember. Let's check out. Did Guiu start more than how many starts did Guiu have this season? I mean, I think. Oops. Okay, so Servette, the second leg. Did Guiu start? Yeah, okay, so Guiu started the second leg against Servette. And why do they not have fixtures here? Why is it not? All matches. Here we go. And the first leg, did he start? Yeah, okay, so he started the first leg against Servette as well. I don't think he started any other games besides those. Okay. Just to note that. Okay, so on to the next. We do have this story from the Chelsea Chronicle. The headline is Chelsea in talks with Qatar and Saudi Arabia amid Boli Eghbali power struggle. We're about to get into that. Just a reminder, y'all, if you're new to the stream or if you're just a lurker, stalker, and haven't really subscribed or whatever it is, do me a favor. Do yourself a favor. Possibly like, subscribe to the channel so we could see more of you. Maybe hit the notification bell if you're so inclined to see when we go live. But most importantly, like the stream, subscribe to the channel, engage in the chat. Want to see you coming back. Let's do it. Okay, if that wasn't a great marketing pitch, check my other 3. Just scrub back to the earlier. Maybe my other 2 pitches were more compelling. One of them should convince you. Okay, let's get into this story, which I'm going to change the view here. Yeah, just a little bit there. Okay, so Boli, who has been the public face of Chelsea since the takeover in May 2022, despite commanding just 13% of the club's equity, was pictured alongside Eghbali in Saturday's win over West Ham. Okay, which people are worried about that relationship, still worried about it. But despite presenting a united front, the 2 power brokers are still vying to take the club in their own direction in a saga which is expected to end in regime change at Stamford Bridge. Thankfully, the Boli and Eghbali remain committed to keeping things professional, and their dispute is not affecting performances, with Chelsea unbeaten under Enzo Maresca so far. What are you talking about? Unbeaten. Definitely not unbeaten. Got beat by Manchester City, so I don't know what you're talking about here. But whatever, we move on. However, while a handful of competitive, and by Servette, by the way. However, while a handful of competitive performances may paper over financial and operational issues for a short while, big questions still need to be answered in SW6. Financial projections show that Chelsea are set to announce a loss of around £97 million for 23-24, while player amortization, how clubs account for transfer fees over time, will stand at £158 million. So even though they're not immediate losses, they will be losses in the near term. The scale of Chelsea's losses in recent years mean that although the club has always maintained it has complied with spending rules, a rush to comply with profit and sustainability rules is inevitable. Okay, I believe that we will, so I think that's just fluff. With that in mind, many analysts are baffled at the continued absence of a front of shirt sponsor. Now this is true, and I've been thinking, even though I kind of hate the kit at Chelsea, honestly, it looks like, I've been saying this, it looks like a 80s swimwear design, like it should say Speedo and be around like a banana hammock situation. I don't know if you know what a banana hammock is, but if not, look it up. You won't be disappointed. But it does look like 80s, crappy 80s swimwear spandex. And even though that is the case, I have been thinking like maybe I should get a shirt though, because I love the fact that there's no, it's not great for the club, but I love the fact that there's no sponsor in the front. It's just a clean, nice and clean shirt. Anyway, Chelsea in talks with 3 airlines over front of shirt deal. Just as they did last season, Chelsea have begun 24-25 without a front of shirt sponsor. This is a big deal. A front of shirt sponsors is typically the most valuable property in a club's commercial portfolio, and Chelsea's commercial income is worth £200 million plus per season. This is a big deal. We need that money in order to compete and comply with PSR and compete with the bigger clubs. But the big clubs around, right? Failing to secure a deal in time for shirts to be printed, and with 5 matches now having passed, the value of the rights has fallen. That is obviously the case. The less matches we have, the less TV appearances we have, the less the shirt is valued. The front of shirt sponsor space is valued. However, after reports that Chelsea are in talks with Qatar Airways over a potential deal, business journalist Lucas Bashek is now reporting that Saudi airline Riyadh Air and Turkish Airlines are also in the mix. Okay? Right, so Qatar Airways, I'd rather have the Saudi Riyadh Air, whatever it is, honestly, over Qatar. Qatar, enough, not interested. For the sake of their PSR calculation and their commercial reputation, Chelsea will hope that the competition for their rights can drive up the final value of the rights. Sure, and there's a ton of oil money there, I'll tell you that much. Last season's deal with Infinite Athlete was worth a reported £40 million, not that much, but Chelsea are said to have their sights set higher for the current campaign. This is some nonsense about Chelsea. Can they comply with PSR? They can. I believe they will. So we'll skip over that. That seems like fluff. It does seem to me. I mean, one of the things that I keep mentioning is that, and this is a crazy stat, Chelsea literally have like the average weekly salary of wages in the Premier League is £72,000. Chelsea's average weekly wage is £60,000. Okay, so it's clear, and we've amortized a lot of these big price tag purchases that we've made have been amortized and spread across many, many years. And while that can't be the case anymore for new signings, new contracts that go out, they have a max amortization, if you don't know what amortization is, maybe look it up, but they have a max amount of years that they can spread that price tag across of 5 years. So you can't spread like, Enzo, when we bought Mudryk, when we bought Enzo, when we bought Caicedo, we gave them massive contracts so that we could split up that price tag across a bunch of years. Now you can't do that, but still, I think we're in pole position, and the club seems very confident that we are going to be able to comply with PSR. This new administration is very serious about that. And judging by the amount of players that they've bought recently and the level of the wages and the limit to the wages that they're willing to pay, even in that Victor Osimhen deal, that seemed like a big part of the deal. I know John Obi Mikel said that it wasn't the case, that it wasn't £500,000, but I guarantee you it was at least £300,000 that Victor Osimhen wanted. He was already making €300,000 a week at Napoli. And obviously Saudi Arabia was probably offering him a ton of money, and so he's probably not going to want to go to Chelsea for any less than £300,000 a week. And as I just said, our average weekly wage is £60,000, £12,000 beneath the average Premier League wage. So I do believe that this administration is doing everything to comply with PSR, and we're going to make it, and it's going to be fine. Okay, so now that we've got that out of the way, let's head on over to the Daily Mail. Simon Jordan has opinions, and they're usually very strong opinions, and he has written an article for the Daily Mail, and I thought it was interesting. Let's see what he has to say. Again, title is, "We Must Stop Selling Our Sporting Soul to the Saudis. I don't like the sense that everything in this country is there solely to be bought." I don't know if y'all feel this way, but it's worth talking about. "I've never had and never will have any problem with different countries adding to the fabric of world sport or creating their own sporting development and opportunities. I don't think," that's a nice preface, a nice prelude to complaining. "I don't think we have the zeitgeist or right to not allow others to be at the top table, enhance themselves, and neither are we in a position to lecture. We have our own issues. Saudi dignitary Turk al-Sheikh is perhaps entitled," and he's been investing in all sorts of things, UFC, boxing, we know that. I think he's like the master of sport or wherever he is over there, is perhaps entitled to invest for whatever reason in boxing, football, or anything else on behalf of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I do, however, hold great belief and value in this country too. With that sense of national pride, I found it a tad perplexing to sit in our own Wembley Stadium on Saturday night and listen to the national anthem of Saudi Arabia." Shots fired. This doesn't make me a little Englander. There was no obvious reason for it. There weren't any Saudi Arabian fighters in action. Yes, the funder and ultimate promoter of the event was Saudi, but I can't imagine any fight being put on in Riyadh or Jeddah and our anthem being played for a promoter. National anthems are for sports participants. I'm not going to say I disagree. That is a little awkward. We are allowing our institutions to be bought, and more often, those who benefit from it, in this instance, the big fight managers and promoters Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn, sit there justifying it because it lines their pockets. I half expected Frank and Eddie to be dressed in the traditional Saudi thobs. Such is the deference. Little doubt they will try to diminish my argument as coming from a hater. I don't like the sense that everything and everyone in this country is there solely to be bought. Though I consider myself a capitalist, I find it a little bit distasteful that we seemed so willing to give away our national soul for the right price. I turned up to our most iconic sporting arena in the country, recognizable around the globe and the seat of our national game, to watch two British heavyweights, Daniel Dubois and Anthony Joshua, and it felt like downtown Riyadh. God, shots fired. It was cultural appropriation in reverse, bowing and scraping to a dignitary that represents the money. Yeah, this isn't much about football, is it? I thought he was going to talk about, you know what, actually? Interesting. We learned later that a leading journalist had been denied access to the fight because he writes about what he believes in Saudi sports washing. Ooh. Is Saudi sports washing. Even if I don't fully agree with all his views, it undermines our heritage of free speech in our own country. I've been on the receiving end of Saudi censorship myself and may well find myself again after this article. Ooh. Simon Jordan's got balls, I'll tell you that much. He doesn't mess around. You ever watch Simon Jordan's interviews with former players and current players even? They're balls to the wall. The guy does not hold back. I always recommend Simon Jordan because he doesn't give any Fs. He just goes for it. He'll talk shit right to Wayne Rooney's face. You know what I mean? Like whoever it is. TalkSport weren't allowed to cover events over there because I had the temerity to be part of a conversation to suggest the atmosphere at their fights wasn't as great at this stage as in the traditional capitals of world boxing, which by the way, it wasn't. Ooh, I hope I don't get in trouble for this. Maybe they won't invite reading between the headlines to come and cover their events. I wouldn't like that. Now, of course, having a seat at the aforementioned top table brings both praise and criticism, whether you like it culturally or not. Their PR person turned around and complained I was a xenophobe. Xenophobia, of course, has nothing to do with a fair observation. I was only saying what was factually correct. If that same PR genius came up with the suggestion that the Saudi national anthem got played on Saturday night, then I am not sure what to say about that. Maybe the boos around the stadium when it was played spoke volumes. Ooh, I didn't know that. I guess they boos. Woo! At Wembley. Yeah, well, you play a foreign country's national anthem when nobody participating is from that country. I imagine you're going to get boos in England, especially. There's so much tension right now about that stuff. If we take the Saudi money or anyone's money, of course they'll expect certain things in return. And I don't blame them for trying to perhaps rebrand themselves around the world. It doesn't offend me. My main despair is saved for how readily we are prepared to give up all that we have in return. Everything we invent as a country seems to be taken over and enhanced by others. Sport is becoming no different as we see the Premier League becoming dominated by foreign ownership. That's true. You can't dismiss that. It's always been clear not to preach to other cultures on how they should and shouldn't behave. I took that stance on holding the World Cup in Qatar, even if we found their beliefs, systems, and such things as the illegality of homosexuality different to ours. Ooh, hot topic. But likewise, we and they should respect our history and culture. There have to be certain things that are sacrosanct. The Saudi national anthem should not have been preeminent at a sporting event at Wembley, even for Riyadh season. It was a step too far. Dude, this guy's, Simon Jordan really doesn't care. He's amazing. Newbies must adapt or falter in top flight's new era. Promoted sides Leicester, Ipswich, and Southampton have played 15. Oh, is this the same as Simon Jordan? Is this connected to what he's saying? No, this might be a new article. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but as a foreigner with American owners in the Premier League, you know what? I wouldn't even, me personally, I'm an American. There are owners in the Premier League. I don't fault English people for saying, hey, we need to have some rules. If there aren't Americans playing or participating in the sporting event, playing the national anthem because the owners of the team are from America, that seems a little odd. I'm not opposed to that perception. Kind of makes sense. Okay, that said, let us move on to what I promised would be maybe the last thing we do here on this show, Peruse the News. I think every time, if there's a little bit of time, we got a little bit of time. It's been going on for about an hour and 10 minutes, the show, maybe a little bit less with the intros. Gonna head on over to see what is going on Chelsea Instagram, Chelstagram. Yeah. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to pull that up right now. Bing, boom. Let's go. Raheem Sterling, great night for Arsenal. Got a goal and an assist for the Gunners. Good for him. And 120,000 likes on this post. Reinventing his, well, I don't know if he had to reinvent his career, but certainly got snubbed big time by Enzo Maresca. Enzo Maresca is very opinionated, knows what he wants, and apparently it's not Raheem Sterling. Let's see what Ben Chilwell had to post in his story. Having a great day for the boys. Good luck for the rest of the season, guys. Dom Telford. Oh, is he a big fan of Barrow? Even know. Is he from Barrow? Where is Ben Chilwell from? You know what? Why not check out? Let's ask ChatGPT where Ben Chilwell's from. Okay. Where is Ben Chilwell from? Does he have any connection to Barrow AFC? It's easier than going to Wikipedia and Milton Keynes. He has no direct connection to Barrow AFC, a club based in Barrow in Furness in Cumbria. Okay. So I guess he's just paying some homage to a lower team that they played. No personal connection between Ben Chilwell and Barrow. So, okay, that's fine. Let's go back over to Instagram. There he is. Legend, bro. Legend. Love you, Chili. Should we look at and see what kind of comments were over here? Just love to see maybe what the comments are like. Oh, Barrow AFC responds, take good care of that shirt, Ben Chilwell. He will. Good luck. We Chelsea love you. I love to see the fans still loving Ben Chilwell because, you know, he did get the raw end. But he's back in. It's back in. Oh, no. Lewis Boothroyd. Why you hating, bro? Why you hating? Where are all the rest of these comments? Why you hating, Lewis? Where are all is that all the comments? No way that's all the comments. No way that's all the comments here. All right, it's not. Oh, because Barrow, maybe it is because it's Barrow's post. It's not Ben Chilwell's post. Okay, we'll go back to Ben Chilwell, new drop, live, best one yet. What? What is this? Ben Chilwell have like a music career or something? All right, I don't want to get struck. I have no idea what this has to do with Ben Chilwell. You know what? Let's go to the real. Ooh, graphic or violent content. Are you serious? Oh, this has nothing to do with Ben Chilwell. Okay, we're not going there. Did Ben Chilwell get hacked? Almost seems like Ben Chilwell got hacked here. All right, we move on. No, we're on to the next one. No, I can't show this, unfortunately, because I'm just going to get struck by, Neto thinking Mudryk. Very happy for the two boys. Mudryk getting his first goal contribution of the season. Really needed it. And Neto getting his first goal for Chelsea. Thiago Silva, legend, just had a birthday. Chelsea FC still posting Jackson and his little thriller dance. Very terrible dance moves. It's a good dance move, but he just didn't exactly execute it perfectly or greatly or any of that. Okay, can't really show any of this because they will ban me on YouTube for showing Premier League copyright content. Have no idea what this says, so we're basically going to skip that. Raheem Sterling, miss you, buddy. Well, I don't know about so much miss you, but still think it was a very stupid thing to do. But to sell him to our rivals for basically nothing and basically pay most of his wages. I'll keep saying that. Go through it. Good for him, though. Joe Cole, everybody's posting this frickin' goodbye Meta AI. Please note, an attorney has advised us to put this on. I wonder if this is real or is it just that like everybody's posting this, like celebrities are putting this on here. I don't know if this has to do with anything. I don't know if this actually does what it purports to do. Please note, an attorney has advised us to put this on. Failure to do so may result in legal consequences. As Meta is now a public entity, all members must post a similar statement. If you do not post at least once, it will be assumed you are okay with them using your information and photos. I do not give Meta or anyone else permission to use any of my personal data, profile information, or photos. Great. So everybody's doing that. Reece James reposting Chelsea FC. Mudryk. Glad to see he's there celebrating with the rest of them. Like to see Mudryk pop off. I talk a lot of shit about Mudryk. Surely a lot of people talk a lot of shit about Mudryk. I'm sorry. Like, you know, it is what it is. It's not that I want the kid to fail. Like, I believe it when Zinchenko says that you haven't seen the best of Mudryk. Like, Mudryk is lit, okay? He is, like, Super Saiyan status. Like, I mean, yeah, I want to see that. I'm not saying I totally believe, but I'm hopeful that maybe at one point he will fill those boots. But so far, not. But I am happy to see him get that assist, even if it is against Barrow, and his performance wasn't lit. It's like he had 2 touches on the ball like the entire game. So it wasn't the greatest exhibition of play from Mudryk. But yeah, I'm happy that he got his contribution. He got his assist. I'd love to see more. I hope he builds on it. Because it's really not been great for him lately, has it? And Kunku, I mean, the kid can do nothing wrong. I don't think I can't really play this. Can't really play this. Posting all of his goals. Yeah, let's be real. He's the golden boy. They're talking about Nicholas Jackson, but who looks sharp as all hell? It's Nkunku. The guy is converting every chance. What a freaking star. But he's still not going to start ahead of Jackson in the league, and I'm not saying he should, but he's probably going to start every cup game. Poor Mark Wiu is not going to have much of a chance anymore to start. I mean, he started 2 games in the Conference League against Servette, both legs. But poor Mark Wiu. He came from Barcelona to get minutes, and I'm not sure he's going to get minutes. Let's go head over to Young Chalobah. My boy. Religious man. Close to God. I love him, man. Big fan. Then he posts Chile with the armband. Reminder, Chile had the armband. What a great night for Chile. Great to see him. I'm sure most Chelsea fans are psyched to see him back in the side. I know I am. Rui Faria has been, I don't know if you know Rui Faria. He's Mourinho's right-hand man, okay? Basically everywhere he goes. I think he still is. But he's been posting these little sports science tidbits, mind pieces. So, Rui Faria, does football needs such a reductionist approach? The emergence of a young player creates opportunity for those who immediately rush to build an athlete, desperately chasing extra strength, adding weight with the intent, I don't know why those are in quotations, with the intent of making the player stronger at any cost. Well, that makes more sense because you might think that doesn't make you stronger. Then there is surprise when these footballers fall off the radar, either by losing the qualities that saw them arrive at the top or by falling into a vicious circle of injuries. Yeah, fair enough. lifting more weight, putting on more weight in the interest of getting better doesn't necessarily make you better. Okay, thank you, Rui Faria. Head over to Juan Mata Garcia. Why is he calling out Varane? What a player and what a guy. All the best for your next chapter. Oh, did he? Varane retired? Is that real? Oh, crap. I'm announcing my retirement for the game. Wow. They say all good things must come to an end. In my career, I've taken on many challenges, rose to occasion after occasion. Almost all of it was supposed to be impossible. Incredible emotions, special moments, and memories that will last a lifetime. Reflecting on these moments is with immense pride and a feeling of fulfillment that I am announcing my retirement from the game that we all love. How old is he? What is he, like 32? Hold on a second here. How? Rafael Varane. 31. Dude. Holy crap. Wow. Does he say anything else here? I hold myself to the highest standard. I want to go out strong, not just holding on to... You're 31, bro. And you're a center back. It takes a big dose of courage to listen to your heart and your instinct. Desire and needs are two different things. I have fallen and risen 1,000 times, and this time it's the moment to stop and hang my boots up with my final game winning a trophy at Wembley. I have loved fighting for myself, my clubs, my country, my teammates, and the supporters of every team I have played for, from Lens to Madrid to Manchester, and playing for our national team. I have defended every badge and everything I have and loved every minute of the journey. The game at the highest level is a thrilling experience. It tests every level of your body and your mind. The emotions we experience you cannot find anywhere else. As athletes, we are never satisfied, never accepting of success. It is our nature and what fuels us. I have no regrets. I wouldn't change a thing. I have won more than I could have ever dreamed of, but beyond the accolades and trophies, I am proud that no matter what, I have stuck to my principles of being sincere and have tried to lead. I'm tearing up a little bit, honestly. What a heartfelt message. Sincere and have tried to leave everywhere better than I found it. I hope I have made you all proud. Wow. And so a new life begins off the pitch. I will remain with Como, just without using my boots and shin pads, something I'm looking forward to sharing more about soon. What's Como? I remain with Como. What's Como? Something I'm looking forward to sharing more about soon. Is that a company or something? For now, to the supporters of every club I have played for, to my teammates, coaches, and staff from the bottom of my heart, thank you for making this journey more special than my widest dreams could ever foresee. Thank you, football. With love, Rafa. Wow. Sancho. Pleasure to work with you, brother. A great mentor, a friend, and most of all, a great human. Enjoy your new journey, Rafa. Wow. 1.643 million likes. Juan Mata Garcia. We love Juan Mata at Chelsea at this channel. Thank you, querida Rafa. Congrats on your incredible career and all the best for the new chapter. Cristiano. Is that Ronaldo? Yeah. Wow. Un gran carrera y una leyenda. Okay, let's translate. And a legend. Congratulations for everything, bro. Hope to see you soon. Wow. Wow. Marcelo, thank you, brother. Legend. Luke Shaw, what a career you have had. It was a pleasure to play with you. Legend. Vinny Jr., legend. Raul Gonzalez. If you don't know Raul, then you don't know. Congrats on the Rafael Varane race. Legend. Blaise Matuidi. Immense carrière. Rafa. Merci por tout. Legend. Thank you for everything. Alvaro Morata. Felicidad. All the frickin' stars are out. What a career this guy's at. But 31, man. It's a little young, but he addressed that. He says he knows. He knows. His heart knows. Well, let's see if he comes back, right? Felicidades por tu carrera y lo mejor para el futuro. All the best for the future. Ariola, merci por tu, Rafa. What a career. Posted it twice. Why would he post twice? Maybe in two different languages? No. Thank you for everything, Rafa. Bravo. What a career. Jibril, Sidibe. All the frickin' stars out here. This is a crazy list of stars congratulating him. Wow. Okay. Rafa. Varane. Wow. Crazy. What a guy. Amari Kellerman. Maybe you guys don't know. He hasn't really played much. Oh, he got loaned out? No, that's a different player. Karan Young. I don't know who that is. Who is Caden Young? Caden Young? Just look him up real quick. Is he a Chelsea player? I don't know Caden Young. Caden Young. There you go. Aston Villa Academy. How does he know Omari Kellerman? Did Kellerman come out of the Aston Villa Academy at any point? Omari. Yes, he did. Okay, that's how he knows him. He came out of Kellerman came out of the Aston Villa Academy. Okay. He's on the roster at Chelsea. On the roster, bro. Dewsbury Hall. Good shit, bro. Who's Thomas Work? Tomas Henriquez. Who that? Just a photographer. Okay. Renato Vega. Good to see you on the pitch, buddy. Cesar Azpilicueta. Just posting some Atletico stuff. Leslie Ugo Chukwu. David Washington. Linda, amigo. He's Brazilian, so I don't know how you say that in Portuguese. What is this? Essien. I thought he was like reffing or something. Nah, he's just playing some sort of Legends game, maybe. He's not still playing. Tony Rudiger. Didn't post about Varane. Jorgensen looking profesh. Good game for him. Patrice Evra. Joao. Felix. Good stuff, bro. Great assist. Great assist. Should have gotten a goal. Didn't get credit. Unfortunately, the goal was given as an own goal. But look at this. Maybe I could show a second. Look at that scoop. Beautiful. Beautiful. Can't show the full thing because... Oh, you can't even see it. I'm not showing. That was silly, wasn't it? Look at this scoop. Hopefully they won't ban me. Scoop. Nice. If you didn't see it yet, go check it out. PGMOL. I am a referee, so I like to subscribe to PGMOL. Check in on what's going on. A lot of controversy lately with them, especially after that, what was it? That offsides in the Crystal Palace game that got given, that didn't get given on Mateta. I don't know how that panned out, but here we go. Let's see. What's this? Cuckoo.
50-50, but I never seen one, so...
What's the best thing about being a father?
The best thing, that you don't sleep too much.
Is that not the worst thing?
This is the worst.
I've got a little present for you. Catch.
Wow! What is this? I like it, eh? John Cena, no? I have his bell at home.
Oh my God, he's a pro wrestling fan?
What song do you know word for word?
Now I just listen Cocomelon and this kind of songs, all McDonald's and this. No, in the car I just have this playlist, honestly.
Even when there's no children?
No. All McDonald's have a farm.
Yeah. Who's the teammate that you've learned the most from?
Difficult one, this one, eh? Thiago, venga, I say Thiago.
Yeah.
Our relationship started very bad, eh? But then it's just with
really?
time. I think, for example, me, I enjoy
know
playing
that.
with him. And
I want to know that story.
He enjoyed playing with me.
I want to know that story.
Greece, I know Greece. The film, I like it. John Travolta.
Who's the toughest player you've ever played against?
Salah.
Wow.
He have everything, and one action can change the game, so...
Yeah, one thing, for sure, Cucurella is that type of player that sometimes he just gets too tight, man. I mean, he's fantastic, right? I've liked him since the beginning, since we picked him up, since Pep was going off about him. But one thing you got to notice about Cucurella, sometimes the guy just gets too tight. He overestimates his pace. And with a guy like Salah, I could see him kicking it right past him. Yeah, this makes sense.
Choose this one.
If there was a fire at your house you could only save 3 personal items, what would you save?
John Cena belt, the PlayStation, and the TV,
This is yours.
Yeah, for sure. Give me my John Cena.
Mark, do you believe in aliens?
50-50, but I never seen one, so...
What's the best thing about being a father?
All right. Yeah, that's cute. That's cute. My favorite story about Cucurella that I've heard is that when he was a kid, his mom used to come to all of his games, and one day he decided, all right, you know, I don't want to have all this hair anymore. Like, it's too much. I'm growing up. I got to get rid of it. So he shaves his head, and his mom kept going to his games. And one day she says, you know, ever since you shaved your head, I can't figure out who you are on the pitch anymore. Like, I'm watching in the pitch, but I used to look for your hair and I'd know immediately who you are on the pitch. And so he decided, all right, I guess I got to just grow my hair back now. And so ever since, he's always had the big puffy hair. Yeah. So I think that's a great story. He said, give me my John Cena. This dude is so funny. You can't help but love this guy on and off the field. Cucurella is so funny guy. I want to know the story about him, and I'm going to write that in. I want to know the story about why he and Thiago Silva didn't get along at first. Come on. Let me just tag him, right? Cucurella. Let us in on the story. And I'll just give a little emoji there. We'll like it. It's cute. That's cute. Cucurella is listening to Coco Melon. Yeah, I mean, did not peg Cucurella for a John Cena fan, eh? But that's hilarious. Okay.
Mark, do you believe in aliens?
50-50, but I never seen one, so...
What's the best thing about...
Checking on Didier. I can't play these songs because I'll just get banned for it. Rami. Yeah. RLC. We have like an exorbitant amount of Chelsea players at AC Milan. So it's interesting. They have like 5 players at AC Milan. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Christian Pulisic, Fikayo Tomori. Is Giroud still there? Maybe not Giroud, but who else is there? We have a couple others. There's a couple other for sure. Not remembering them now. Definitely an exorbitant. Oh, Tammy Abraham. Definitely an exorbitant amount of players there.
Oh, she's sweet but a
Chelsea
psycho.
ladies. Don't really check up on them, honestly. All right. I think that was pretty good.
I'm struggling to get
pretty
back
great
a bit.
show. Definitely happy with the way that went. Oh, let's check this out. We know they came 2 days earlier than... Oh, yeah, this is that whole thing about winning the Europa League against Arsenal. Sorry, Arsenal fans. We know they came 2 days earlier than us. They prepared the parade and everything. But we are Chelsea. We came here and we won that trophy. Great day. And we just won we're the only team, I think, to win back-to-back the Champions League, to hold the Champions League and the Europa League at the same time, I think. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that was great. Chukwuemeka. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Chukwuemeka. Casade, decent game. Decent game, you have to say. Give him a little like. What else we got here? Gaz. All right. You know what? I think that was a good show. What do you think, guys? You think that was a good show? We had a good show. We had some pop-in conversations earlier on in the stream. They sort of died down a little bit, but yep. Always looking forward to having you all. Always looking forward to meeting some new people, though we have developed some regulars on the show. Certainly happy about that. And I'll just say, guys, if you're new to the channel, if maybe you're a lurker to the channel and you've been here a lot and you just haven't pulled the trigger, why not like the stream? Most importantly, subscribe to the channel. I'd love to see you guys in the future, and then you guys get to be that cool dude that, you know, knew the small channel before they went big. This channel's growing all the time. You got to get in now. Plus, it's a lot of fun. On this channel, we've set the latency to ultra latency so that I can respond to every chat as soon as possible. That's what this channel is about. It's about conversations. It's about, you don't have to be even a Chelsea fan. We're here talking about Premier League news, Chelsea news, and everybody is welcome. So come on by, subscribe to the channel so you can get back here. Hit the notification bell if you're into the live show. Maybe if I get a few more subscribers, I can start monetizing. Then I can convince the wife that I could spend more time doing some pre-recorded comedy shows, which I used to do all the time, which was a lot of fun. You should go back and check some of them out, especially if you've been a fan of the game for a while, because you'll actually get some of the references. But yeah, do yourself a favor, do me a favor, subscribe, come back, enjoy the channel, engage in the live chat, because this channel is much about that situation. But yeah, so that's my marketing pitch. And guys, as always, until next time, thank you for coming by, and live football and prosper. Peace, y'all. Soccer? But it's really called football. Soccer? The creators called it football. Soccer? You know, you play it with your feet. Reading between the headlines. Soccer? But it's really called